This man borrowed from almost everybody, from his landlord, from his church members, even from the beer parlor woman. At first, he was paying back, little by little. But as time went on, business slowed down, yet his mouth never slowed down. He would promise today, tomorrow, next week, until his name entered black book everywhere. In Nigeria, when you owe, you can run, but you cannot hide. The creditors will find you. One Saturday morning, the landlord came to the compound shouting his name. His wife tried to cover for him, saying he went to market, but everybody knew he was hiding inside. Children in the compound even started teasing his children, singing, "Your papa dey owe, your papa dey owe." Later in the week, the market women he owed confronted him at Ladipo. One of them, a strong woman with wrappers tied high, shouted, "If you don't pay me, I will collect my money in shame. You can't be eating meat while I'm suffering." A small crowd gathered. Lagos people loved drama. Phones came out. He was embarrassed. Pressure kept mounting. Even his own friends who once supported him started avoiding him. Nobody wanted to sit with him again, because in Lagos, death spreads faster than gossip. One night, as he sat in his one room, sweating in the heat, thoughts crowded his mind. His wife was begging him to face his creditors, but he refused. Shame had already swallowed him. That was when the crazy idea came. He told himself, "What if I pretend to be mad? If people think I have run mad, who will distract a madman to pay debt? Who will chase a madman for money? Instead, they will pity me." At first, he laughed at the thought, but the more he thought, the more it looked like solution. In his mind, madness was better than shame. By the next day, he had made up his mind. He would become mad. If you have ever seen how Lagos mad people look, you will know that pretending is not easy, but he prepared well. He took his neat clothes and sold them secretly. Then he bought ragged shirts and torn trousers from a bent-down select seller at Oshodi. He rubbed engine oil and dust all over his body. He stopped shaving his head and face, so within weeks, his beard grew rough, his hair scattered. He even refused to bathe so that the smell would carry the message. When he finally stepped out into the street one morning, barefoot, muttering nonsense and dragging a broken bucket, people gasped. Children ran after him, shouting, "Madman, madman!" He ignored them, shaking his head like somebody chasing invisible demons. At first, the performance worked. People believed it. He wandered from his compound to Oshodi, muttering, picking things from the ground, and sleeping under unfinished buildings. Some Lagosians even started dropping coins in front of him out of pity. Imagine, he owed money, but now he was collecting free alms as a madman. But Lagos people also love entertainment. Whenever he began to shout random words on the street, people gathered. Some laughed, some recorded with their phones. He became a kind of street comedian without knowing. But his creditors were not satisfied. In the beginning, many felt pity. Some women in the market said, "Ah, life is hard. Death has turned this man to madman. God forbid such misfortune." They would shake their heads and even pray for him. But others didn't believe so easily. Some neighbors whispered, "This man is not truly mad. He's running from shame. Watch him well." His wife suffered the most. People pointed at her children in school, saying, "Your papa done mad because of debt." She cried in silence. She begged him to stop, but he refused, insisting, "Better they call me mad than call me thief."
No matter how well a man acts, truth will one day show face. One hot afternoon, he was wandering around Oshodi Bridge, picking plastic bottles like other street people. Suddenly, an old friend from his village spotted him. This man was shocked because just a few months ago, he had seen him in the market busting and buying drinks for everybody. The friend moved closer and whispered, "My brother, I know you. You are not mad. Stop this play before people catch you." But instead of listening, he shouted louder, rolling on the floor to prove his madness. People laughed and clapped, thinking it was real. Yet, whispers began spreading that maybe this madness was acting. His landlord, a tough Yoruba man in his 60s, was not ready to let him escape. He gathered other tenants and said, madness or not, he will still pay. Even if he's mad, his family must pay. So one evening, the landlord stormed the compound with community elders. They sat the wife down and demanded rent. She cried bitterly, saying she didn't even have money to feed the children. The landlord then announced to everyone that whether mad or not, he would drag the case to police. News spread like wildfire. Madman still owing rent. The embarrassment grew worse. The turning point came one night at a beer parlor in Mushin. Some young men were drinking and saw him passing, muttering like usual. But then they noticed something strange. He picked up a roasted fish tail from the ground, looked around, and instead of eating it like a true madman, he carefully cleaned it and pocketed it. They shouted, "He don't cast! This man no be madman, na scam!" People gathered immediately. Lagos crowd is faster than social media. They surrounded him, chanting, "Acting, acting, acting." Some even chased him with sticks. In panic, he broke character and started running. And that was the end of his madness career. The community mocked him without mercy. Children sang new songs. "Your papa be madman we no mad." His creditors doubled their pressure. Some even threatened court. His wife, tired of disgrace, packed her belongings and left with the children to her mother's place. Alone, hungry, and now with a reputation worse than death, he sat one evening by the roadside, staring at the cars rushing past. For the first time, real tears flowed. He realized he had destroyed his own dignity, not just with death, but with lies. Weeks later, the local church elders took pity on him. They gathered, contributed small money, and helped him settle part of his debts. He was warned never to borrow again unless he could pay. His story became a lesson. In Mushin, whenever somebody tries to dodge payment, people will quickly say, "Better pay before you turn yourself to madman like that man." This story may sound funny, and indeed, people still laugh whenever they remember it. But beneath the laughter lies bitter truth. Pride can destroy a man faster than poverty. If he had humbled himself, explained to his creditors, or even sought help, maybe things would have turned out differently. Instead, he chose fake madness and ended up losing his respect, his family, and his peace of mind.